Well, hello, it's Nancy today, and guess what I'm going to do for you? I am going to make soap. Yes, homemade soap. And don't let the lye in it worry you, because the lye, for every molecule of lye and every molecule of oil, I don't know how many it takes of the oil to go to one lye, depends on the kind of oil. But when you combine the oils with the water and lye, they hook up and they saponify. And if you have more oil than lye, you get a softening, moisturizing soap. Okay? Because there's a little more oil in it that's still there. If, however, you have more lye than you have oil, more that saponifies it, more than the amount that it needs to take to saponify it. We're not talking about 1-to-1, we're talking about amount needed. Okay, if you have more lye left over in it, it's going to be a strong soap, a harsh soap. And Grandma's old-fashioned soap was sometimes like that because she boiled it and did her lye from the boiled pot of lye, and you really couldn't measure exactly how much oil you're going to need for how much lye. So sometimes you got a very lye-heavy soap. However, you have to have lye to make soap. There is no such thing as soap without lye. Do you know that? That's a lie. There's no such thing. And I was at a market the other day, well, another season, and somebody was selling glycerin soap, and they said, no lye. Absolutely no lye. Well, that's a lie. Because in order to have glycerin, let me tell you the history of glycerin. You take lye and water, and you take oil, and you put them together. And then you have soap. Then, in order to extrude the glycerin, if you add tons and tons and tons of water, you can take the soap part out, and you'll be left with the glycerin. And where did the glycerin come from? Lye and water. Lye and oil. Lye, water, and oil. Okay? There is no such thing as having soap without lye. The way soap was discovered, legend has it, but I can't imagine that it's wrong, is that the altars where they were burning the animals back in the days of the Mosaic Law, the altar had the fat running down it, and it would get down into the ashes. Well, when it rained, if it rained in where they were burning it, yeah, they didn't do it inside the temple, they did it outside in an open area. So it rained there, and the ashes, where were the ashes? The ashes were on the altar. The fire was on the altar, and the animal was on the altar, right? So the ashes are left on the altar, and the fat that wasn't consumed is on the altar running down the sides, and the rain washes the water through and mixes with the fat, and you get soap, right? Because you've got the lye water and you've got the oil or fat. That's where soap comes from. Don't be deceived. You have to have it. Ivory soap is made with lye. Every soap. All the shampoos you use. Every kind of soap that you buy in the store, it's all made with lye. The difference in the grocery store and in ours, anybody that makes it homemade, is that, first of all, in the grocery store, 10% of the oil is coconut oil. Coconut oil makes bubbles. Lots and lots of bubbles. Wonderful bubbles. Look at how bubbly it is. It must be good soap. Coconut oil is a very drying oil. It will dry your skin. That's why people say, oh, you don't use soap. No, soap is very drying. That's why. It's because of the coconut oil. The second thing is that when they make their soap, they take it, store-bought soap, unless it's an expensive high-quality soap, they take it and they extrude the glycerin by however process they do it. When I make liquid soap, if I add too much water, I find that I end up with nice soapy water, but then I end up with this lovely big stuff at the bottom, which is actually glycerin and doesn't do any good for cleaning your hands. Anyway, so what they do is they extrude the glycerin. they sell the glycerin for a lot of money. So what you're left with is not only drying soap, which is comes from 10% coconut oil, but it also has no glycerin in it. Glycerin is the moisturizer that's in the soap. So homemade soap has all the glycerin is still in the soap. Okay? So there you go. You stick that in your hat and wear it. Okay. See you later. Well, hello, it's Nancy today. I should really be wearing a hat, don't you think? But it's in the other room. And you're not going to be looking at me for long anyway. I can put my head up here and then you won't notice that I have a hat on or not. Okay, we're going to start another batch of soap. So we've already made 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one is in here. And now I'm going to make a 6th one. The reason I'm doing this is so that I will have it and it'll be done. Because everybody wants soap making videos. Please make soap making videos. Nobody notices that I've made 337 soap making videos and they miss them? Have they watched them all? Many people just showed up so many months ago. And how do they know they've seen them all? Well, I numbered them. They're now numbered. In parentheses at the end of the name. Soap 1, Soap 20, Soap 337. That's a lot of videos on soap making. And you have to watch them all. You'll have no idea what's in them. Okay, so we're going to go back over here now and we're going to make some more soap. With my famous soap making recipe. Alright, so here we have our container, which is dirty. It's got soap in it from the last time I measured oil in it or something. No, it's from putting my spoon in there. That's what it is. Okay, but that doesn't matter because when I put my water in, my lye water in there, it's, it'll just use that. You'll see what happens to that little bit of soap. Okay, now we need some water. Or if you're from Australia, we need some water. So we put this on here. And we set it to 0. Actually, we turn it off. We turn it on, make sure it's going to come up in grams. Here is the recipe. Okay, so we're going to use water, 861 grams. Having that little bit of soap in there is going to be helpful later. Because when you add your lye water to your oil, it will, once it begins to saponify, it will saponify quickly. Okay, so now this is our lye. To turn off and on with the empty cup there, so it will reset to 0. My lye is 288. And it's about 3/4 of this. Look at that, 284. Don't breathe it. That's 290. We don't want that many. $2.88. Perfectamente. Okay. Then we shall add it to this, and we have our spoon, which we are slowly but surely ruining by using it in the lye. Now watch what happens to that soap there. It'll just saponify. And it'll saponify with just enough of the lye that it takes to do that. Do not stand over this and breathe it. It will burn your lungs. You hear that? Some of it is on the bottom and it's sort of stuck to the bottom. You must, I repeat, must dissolve every lye crystal. Otherwise, when you pour this into your oil, you'll see little white bits going in and your soap will be poisoned. And get burned badly. Of course, it'll probably be good for washing the walls or something, but so as I said before, once one bit of your batch has begun to saponify when you're adding this to your oil, once the saponification begins, it quickly spreads. And so, you see, in here we have some that's already saponified. Or it's in the process of it, if it's not already. Well, it was already saponified when I started, right? So it didn't even take any of this stuff. Okay. Okay, that's that. Now we can measure our oils. I think we can measure our oils, but I don't have enough oil in here. I'm going to have to go to the car and get another container of oil. So we'll just wait on that. We'll put our thermometer in here and it will tell us when it's ready.